It's AWA's Lover again. Today I'm going to be making another Pokemon video. I've been doing a lot more Pokemon lately than AWA's because my AWA stuff is all custom made, so I think I'm just going to focus on Pokemon stuff today. And I'm going to be reviewing some of the cards that are currently in my deck. And this is a hand-built deck. It's not one of those theme decks that are really weak. So I'm going to start out with a supporter card. These come in, this is a Silent. Comes in really handy. It allows you to search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards, reveal them, and you can put them into your hand. I think these things are a really good replacement for energy search, except the only problem is it's a supporter, and you can only use 1 supporter card per turn. But if you really need energies, these would be much better, because when I put these in my deck, I just took out the energy searches altogether, because I have silence for that. So yeah, I definitely recommend these for the new decks now. Oh, there are other cards I'm going to have to take out too. Then up next is Battle City. This is a card that you can only get in the special Mewtwo box that they released with Next Destinies, and it always is a reverse. And it's a stadium card, yeah. And once during each player's turn, that player may flip a coin, and then if heads, they can draw another card. So that's a really good one. Okay, I'm going to save the EXs till the end. Alright. Up next, this one is one with a really good ability. If you want to run an electric deck, I suggest you get some Dynamos and Electrics, bleh. And don't use Electros. He's not as good as this one. I have this guy in my deck for Dynamotor, which once during your turn, you can take an electric energy from your discard pile and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. That's the only bad thing, is it can only go onto your benched. Comes in really handy if you have a Zapdos, because those guys take quite a few energies. Speaking of Zapdos, this is the one from the Next Destinies pack. So he is legal. He just kind of came out, actually. His first move, Random Spark, pretty good, actually. You can slowly take out your opponent's benched if his active Pokemon isn't ready. With Random Spark and then Thundering Hurricane. That move comes in really handy when you're facing like a really powerful Pokemon like a Zekrom or something. Because you flip 4 coins, and it does 50 damage times the number of heads. So, yeah, I've never actually gotten a full 200 move. I bet I have gotten 150, so that's a really good one. Quite a few people actually hate that Zapdos because of that. The only downside to him is that his weakness is electric, but his resistance is fighting, which is really weird. So it's kind of a derpy Zapdos. And then, next is Zekrom. He was released in the first Black and White. This is the promo one, though, that you can get in the Zekrom tin. It's just like any other Zekrom except the EX one. The EX ones, they made completely different. He has the move Outrage, does 20 damage plus 10 for each damage counter on Zekrom, and Bolt Strike does 120 damage, but he also does 40 to himself. But that can help power up Outrage. So, yeah. With Reshiram, it has Outrage the same way, except it knows Blue Flare then instead of Bolt Strike. But then you have to take off 2 fire energies, which really sucks. Unless you have a Emboar, which has the ability Fandango out in the field, then that would be really good, because that allows you to attach as many fire energies onto your Pokemon as you like during your turn. Kind of works like for Alligator's ability with Rain Dance, except that only works with water Pokemon. Where did Regigigas go? Oh, there he is. Alright, up next, I'm going to do my Prime Pokemon. Now, I have quite a few Primes, and this is a Prime Absol. And if you don't know what Primes are, they're sort of hard to explain. They're stronger than other Pokemon cards are. Like, if you were to take a regular Absol and a Prime Absol, this one's probably stronger. And most of the time, Primes also have a Pokebody or an ability. I think the only one I've seen that doesn't have one is Tyranitar Prime. You can tell your card's a Prime if it has a sparkly border, like on this one, and if the outside of the picture is like all spiked like this. Only Primes have that kind of thing. And also, it only shows like a head picture of the Pokemon. And it also tends to have a glint. Every single one has some sort of glint, and Absol is right in its eye. So yeah, and it also kind of looks 3D too, so that's how you tell. So Absol Prime Its ability is simple, but it does 70 damage, but you have to choose one Pokemon from your hand and put it to the lost zone. Otherwise, it does nothing. And then Eye of Disaster, that's a really good one, actually. It's kind of deadly when somebody has a Durant deck. As long as Absol is active, whenever your opponent lays down a Pokemon from their hand onto their bench, that Pokemon takes 20 damage. So that's really good. Oh, and here's the Feraligatr I was talking about. Rain Dance. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may attach a water energy card from your hand to one of your water Pokemon. This power can't be used if Feraligatr is affected by a special ability. Special condition. Bleh. This guy comes in really handy with Kyurems, because I use Kyurems, so I know. And then Hydro Crunch does 60 damage plus 10 for each damage count on the defending Pokemon. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, I should probably be saying the sets. This guy's from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And this guy is from, I think, Triumphant. Pretty sure he's from Triumphant. Yeah, he's from Triumphant. Okay. Here's Earthstring. Earthstring Prime. I don't know whether he's from Undaunted or Unleashed. I think you just have to go on the website. Or just look up Earthstring Prime. It'll probably say what set it's in. His Pokebody Berserk. If he has any damage on him, his attacks do 60 more. So, yeah. Hammer Arm's really good if you want to try to deck out your opponent. And then Megaton Lariat. Problem is, he takes a lot of energy, so if you have DCEs and you want to run Earthstring Prime, you're pretty much set, because he works with DCEs. But then if you're facing a Kyurem, then you're screwed. Because I'll show Kyurem EX later, so then you'll get to see how he works. This guy's one of my personal favorites because I've recently fallen in love with Horsea and its evolutions. Mostly Seadra, though. I adore Seadra. Kingdra Prime. He is freaking awesome. He only takes 1 energy, and he is from, I think, Unleashed. But he's from the same set as Earthstring. So if you find Earthstring's set, then you'll know Kingdra's. His ability Spray Splash. Once during your turn, before you attack, you may put 1 damage count on your opponent's Pokemon. Can't be used if he's affected by a special condition. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, and this isn't actually, it doesn't really count as an attack, so if you were attacking a fire Pokemon with this, it would only do 10. It wouldn't, because it's not really an attack, so it doesn't deal with weakness and resistance. And then if your opponent has any fire Pokemon in play, instead of the base being 60, its base damage is 20. That really sucks. My brother runs Reshurams, so this thing doesn't come in handy a whole lot. That's where I kind of rely on my Kyurem for that. But yeah, he's one of my favorites. Oh, okay. This one I think is probably one of the most powerful primes in the entire game. He doesn't have a very high HP, but he's amazing. Lantern Prime. He's Pokepower Underwater Dive. Once during your turn, before you can attack, you may use his power. Lantern's type is water until the end of your turn. This power can't be used if the Lantern is affected by a special condition. If somebody runs Reshurams, it's really good. And then Powerful Spark. This move is amazing. Does 40 damage plus 10 more damage for each energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So if you have Lantern out, and then you have a Eel on the bench that's electric, you can get loaded up with energies. And at one point, this guy was doing 200 when I was playing with him, so he is really good. Oh, next, Raichu Prime. This guy is from, I think that's Undaunted. I'm pretty sure that symbol's Undaunted. I don't know what that is. I'm pretty sure that is Undaunted. It's Pokepower Voltage Increase. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may move an electric energy attached to one of your Pokemon to Raichu. This power can't be used if Raichu is affected by a special condition. Now, I would only use Raichu Prime if you run Eels. Just electric, not Electros, because he sucks compared to electric. Because then you can bring back the energies after you lose them, because with Mega Thunderbolt, it does 120, but you discard all energies attached to Raichu. So I wouldn't add more energies than you need, because then it just takes you longer to bring them all back. So, yeah. So, with him, only run if you got Eels. Next is Blissey. This one is probably one of the weakest ones, I think, but its poke power is pretty good though. Its poke power, Blissful Nurse. As often as you once during your turn, when you play Blissey from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may remove all damage counters from all of your Pokemon. If you do, discard all energy attached to those Pokemon that had damage counters on them. So that kind of sucks. I mean, it comes in handy though if you don't have any energies, and then your opponent's slowly taking out one of your Pokemon. I think I used this when I made a Zekrom active, because I use these guys as buffers. They take damage while I'm prepping everyone else. Unless he's my only one out, then I prep Zekrom because he's pretty good. And then this is actually my first prime ever. I almost forgot one actually. I'll have to get it from Tim. Ampharos Prime. Its Pokebody is Conductivity. Whenever your opponent touches an energy card from his or her hand to one of his or her Pokemon, put 1 damage card on that Pokemon. That's pretty good. Lightning Crush. Flip a coin. If heads, attack does 40 damage plus 40 more damage. If tails, discard an energy attached to defending Pokemon. So it automatically does 40, and then it'll do 40 more, depending on what you get. I have 2 more primes. I gotta get them. Maybe I only have 1. Did I trade away Gengar? Yeah, I must have. I know I traded away my Gengar. Mega Prime. Okay. I had a Tyranitar Prime and a Gengar Prime at one point, but I traded them both away. I also had a Mega Prime. He also traded away. Alright, and this is the last one I have. It's kind of bent up a little bit. Came in the Meganium tin. Meganium Prime. I don't use this in my deck because I don't run grass, but I'll read you its ability. As often as you like during your turn, before you attack, you may move a grass energy attached to one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. The power can't be used if Meganium is affected by a special condition. It's really good. Very good. Okay, if you have, like, grass Pokemon, like, if you have a, let's say, a fully prepped Meganium. Yeah, a fully prepped regular Meganium on your bench. And you pull a Regigigas out, you can, and you put him on your bench, you can use Leaf Trans to move all 4 of those energies onto Regigigas. Why did I just show him? Okay, whatever. And Solar Beam, 2 grass energies and 2 of anything else. Solar Beam does 80 damage. It's just a promo, so it's not from any specific set, but the Meganium that is from the set is from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And just a little warning, if you run Ampharos Prime or any Heart Gold, Soul Silver Primes, those guys are going to be going illegal in August. So, if you didn't already know that, I mean, if you play the game, you probably did. Get him over there. And last but not least, the EXs. I only have 2, but they're pretty good. Start with Kyurem. He's awesome. Weakness to Steel, and so he's just like the ice types. Weakness to Steel. He's from Triumphant. Frozen Wings does 60 damage. You discard a special energy attached to defending Pokemon. It's really good if your opponent has mostly specials. I played somebody who actually had all special energies. It was like a Porygon deck, but it was completely illegal. I wanted to play it though, just for fun. So yeah, but I lost because they knocked out Kyurem. And then Hail Blizzard. This Pokemon can't use Hail Blizzard during your next turn. That kind of sucks. I mean, most of the EXs do have problems where with Zekrom EX you have to discard 2 electric energies, and with Reshiram EX you have to flip a coin, and if heads, Reshiram takes 50 more damage. Or is it tails? I don't remember. I have a friend who runs Reshiram EX. And then my personal favorite, Regigigas. Pulled him right out of the Mewtwo box, actually. Yeah, just so you know, you don't get a Mewtwo EX in the Mewtwo box. That would be awesome, but you don't. Unless you're thinking about playing the giant card that you get from there, you don't get Mewtwo EX, okay? Yeah. Right. Giga Power, it does 60 damage, and you may do 20 more, but if you do that, he takes 20 damage. But that kind of helps with Raging Hammer. Raging Hammer works exactly like Outrage, but with a higher base. Does 10 more damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So, he could potentially do 220 damage. Yeah, 50 plus 170, 120. Yep, and all of them seem to have the same base, 180 and 180. The only one that I think doesn't have the base HP of 180 is the Shaman EX, which only has 110. That one I think is the worst one that they've released. I really don't know how its move works though. It's like 30 times. So I think I might do 30 damage times the number of energies on Shaman. I don't really know how that works. So I think that's it, unless there's a different one, unless there are other cards I want to pull out of here. Oh yeah, there are other cards. If you want to play at known games, you need to have this item card, or at least one of them, because a lot of people like to use them. They're from the Emerging Powers set, Black and White Emerging Powers. They're Pokemon catchers. Switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of his or her benched. It's your choice, so these are really good. If somebody runs Eels for the ability Dynamotor and they only have a Tynamo on their bench, you can pull that thing up and knock it out easily. Because the highest HP Tynamo is 40. So, pretty easy to KO a Tynamo. Because they're really weak. So yeah, Tynamos are catcher bait. Like, it's good to run electrics, but I would only run 2. Because if you have a bunch of Tynamos on your bench, you're gonna die. Well, not literally die, but you know what I mean. So yeah. I think that's just about it. Oh, double colorless energy. That's what they look like. This is one of the older ones from Heart Gold Soul Silver. But I don't think they will be going illegal like everything else, because they re-released DCEs in the new set, Next Destinies. Oh, another good energy. Prisms. Pulled this also out of the YouTube box. It counts as a normal energy, unless the Pokemon this card is attached to is a basic. So with my Kyurem, this would be really handy because I could turn this into a water energy. And I believe that is actually it for what I'm going to show. Yeah. Oh, one more thing. Actually, just one more. Then I'm done. Pokecoms. These are really good. You have to reveal a Pokemon from your hand, then you put it on top, and then you can take any Pokemon you want. I run 4 of these things. It's as many as you can run at one time. They're really good. I use them mainly to get out Regigigas EX, Kyurem EX, Zapdos EX, and one of my primes. Usually that prime would be Kingdra because it only takes 1 water energy. So yeah, I believe that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry it was kind of long. Didn't expect it to be this long. So yeah, this is Lexi, signing off with a cute little Cedra kid. Goodbye.